The two plays, written by Cho Seung Hui, contain chilling words from the 23-year-old Virginia Tech student. Cho, an English major, wrote the works for a playwriting class. Copies of the plays were obtained by CNN from an AOL employee who took the class with Cho. Both contain graphic passages about plans to kill a main character. Take Cho's play titled Richard McBeef, a story about a young man who despises his stepfather Richard. It reads, "I hate him, must kill Dick. Dick must die. Kill Dick. Richard McBeef." In the 8-page play, the young character accuses his stepfather of molesting him, saying, "Get your hands off me, you sicko. Damn you." The mother in the play brandishes a chainsaw. The young man tries choking his stepfather with a cereal bar. One former FBI profiler says Cho's words could help investigators.
I think that lends us gives us a window into what was going on inside his mind. And he seems to me that these writings indicate he felt helpless and powerless over people that were doing him harm.
Cho's second play, titled Mr. Brownstone, also involves threats of killing. 3 students hate their math teacher, Mr. Brownstone, for giving them detention. It reads, "He has to make our lives miserable. I'd like to kill him. I'll be damned if he doesn't die." Another line says, "I want to watch him bleed."
The individual that wrote this seems to be fixated or very angry about sexual things going on in his life, older male figures taking advantage of him, doing evil things. He seems to also have a theme in these papers where he sees himself, the younger person, as powerless and somewhat possibly hopeless, but also very, very angry at the world.
The subject of money also plays an important role in both plays. In Richard McBeef, the young man criticizes his stepfather, saying, "You can't provide for my mom." In Mr. Brownstone, the young students win millions at a casino, only to have it stolen by their teacher. It closes with a final threat: "You won't get away with this, Brownstone."
All of the new details that are emerging about this man, is there one in particular that you could point to that raises a very serious red flag?
Well, you know, Paula, there are warning signs in these cases, and certainly Cho seems to have had a lot of red flags in his biography. The problem, of course, is that after a massacre happens, everybody becomes a psychotic. This bizarre and strange and even crazy behavior is kind of ignored. It doesn't seem dangerous. But I would say that if you look at the profile, the fact that he was socially isolated, that he had no place to turn. He didn't have apparently friends and family around to give him encouragement and support. Now, of course, there are millions of people in that situation. They don't kill anybody. But it seems to me that when you put that together, this social isolation, with the fact that I believe he suffered some catastrophic losses. I'm not sure whether it was the loss of a girlfriend, the loss of money, the loss of his position on the campus, or maybe all of those things. But suffering this kind of loss as a precipitant probably pushed him over the edge. You were talking about an extremely depressed person.
Jack, hang on one second.
Sure.
I want to pause because we are standing about 500 yards away from this candlelight vigil now where the taps are being played. I just want to show you the crowd as we continue our conversation and just listen to the impact that the ceremony has tonight. Jack, I'm not sure as it came through as clearly through the microphone as it is to all of our ears, but we have seen such tremendous pain here today, and you certainly can feel that coming off the crowd tonight. Let's come back to the issue of his writing, and we know that one of his English teachers pulled him out of a class and actually started to tutor him one-on-one, told the police about his writing, told the administration about his writing. If you were to have seen this, his work from a playwriting class where he wrote, "I want to kill him, Jane." This is talking about his stepfather. "I want to make him bleed like the way he made us kids bleed." Would that have alarmed you?
Oh, I'm sure it would have alarmed me. However, I have to put this in perspective after having studied these mass killers for more than 25 years. And I can tell you that they usually do not issue a threat beforehand. Those people who threaten usually don't follow through, and those who follow through usually don't threaten. And, you know, keep in mind that we could be talking about novelist Stephen King, who also fantasized about violence and wrote prolifically about it. Of course, he went on and became a big success. I would be concerned about this. There's no question about it. But the question is, then what do you do with that information? You know, in high schools and middle schools around the country under zero tolerance policies, if a youngster wrote about violence in an essay, it could be expelled. Now, in most cases, these youngsters who wrote about violence did so because they could never actually express it through the barrel of a gun. You know, usually this is a way of dealing with violence in a safe, pretty innocuous way. So, you know, I have to tell you something, Paul. Of course, I wish I could tell people that these warning signs could protect us in the future, but I would not be telling you the truth. The truth about this is that we can do very little to protect ourselves, except for one thing, Paul.
That is
there is
very
one
quickly,
thing,
Jack.
And there is one thing that I think is very important to emphasize. We should be caring about people who are troubled long before they become troublesome. We should reach out to people, not to punish them, but to give them our concern, our caring, and then we might even prevent a murder or two in the process.